Hey everybody, it's your boy Guru, the Fan 305. Right now at this time, it's a solo podcast. Yes, all by myself. Yep. You get to hear only my voice, which that might be a good thing for some of you, maybe not. It is May 21st. Was May 20th, so I'm recording this late into the night. Early in the morning, May 21st, which is a Sunday now currently. I want to start off talking a little sports, and I don't really talk a lot of sports in these podcasts with other people, but I want to represent and talk about some 305 team, a 305 team, and a 954 team. Which any of you guys that live down in South Florida, I mean, Broward, Dade, they're like cousins, right? Um, I lived in both, so I'm gonna represent both. So first, I want to talk about the Panthers, who at one point played the Miami Arena in the 305 for many years, or for a few years, and then moved on, and now they play in Sunrise, which is in Broward County. They have, and we're talking about NHL, Florida Panthers, I like to speak my fake Canadian voice. The Panthers, they are 2 wins away from going to the Stanley Cup. All right, they just beat Carolina, Carolina Hurricanes. Uh, they're up to 0. Okay, and they beat them in Carolina, which is one of the toughest places to play, supposedly. So, congratulations to the Panthers. It's not done yet, but I will be, like I've been telling people at work and around, I'll be a cocky Panthers fan. Uh, we're gonna kick ass. I think we're destined to get to the Cup final, and it is one of the hardest sports to win a title. Um, it's amazing, these athletes. I think hockey. I put hockey and soccer kind of the top sports for athletes as far as being able to do things. So think about this: as a hockey player, you're on skates, okay, and then you have to be able to move around on these skates, and then hit a little black saucer or a puck, okay, and you're constantly getting hit, getting sticks hit on your arms, your back, your chest. Okay, I mean it's one of the few sports that guys are getting into fights, legal fights where like guys aren't getting thrown out. I mean there are penalties at times, but like hockey is a rough sport. So it's like I give them so much credit, and I will tell you guys of all the sports to watch in person that I've been to, I've been in baseball, football, basketball games, and hockey. I say of all the sports, the best sport to watch in person is hockey. All right, it's fast paced. It's just awesome. Um, and there's a lot of hot women too if you go to hockey games. All right, but they're all wearing sweaters. So big ups to the Florida Panthers. Hopefully they make it, and I want to congratulate them on a big win tonight. And they're 2 wins away. Now the other team I want to represent is they are in 305, the Miami Heat, and they are up 2 games to none against Boston, which I am very happy to know that they have beaten Boston twice, a city and a team that we have a history with them, and not even basketball. I mean, hell, the Panthers beat Boston, which had the best record ever for an NHL season this year, ever. We're talking in the long history of the NHL. The Boston Bruins had the most points ever, and we beat them. So for us to do that against Boston, and then in hockey, and then now turn to basketball, they were the number 2 seed, I believe, and we beat them in Boston, the Boston Garden, the new Boston Garden, right? The TD Bank Center or whatever the hell it's called. So big ups to the Heat. Again, another team. This is a team, and for even both of these teams, people are like really poo-pooing. At least early on, they never gave the teams any respect. But I always say, look, the Heat last year they were a number 1 seed, right? They were a 1 seed in the NBA. coming out of the East, and they lost to Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. Okay, the Panthers, they were a number one seed last year. They were the best team in the NHL. They won the President's Trophy. They call it, I guess, the team with the most points gets a trophy. All right, now it's usually the kiss of death in NHL if you look at the history, but the Panthers won it. So fast forward to this year, both teams struggled. All right, the Panthers did they were kind of average until January and they started picking up. Heat, same thing, very average to just get by. They ended up getting in the play-in tournament in the NBA, which basically means you're not guaranteed a playoff spot and you got to beat two other teams, depending on how you do. And they made it. And then they played the best team in the East, beat Milwaukee. Then they played the Knicks, which most people wanted the Knicks to win. All right, New York, big market. Well, we dispatched with them 5 games. So now we're playing Boston, the number 2 seed, and again, a lot of people are saying that they're better than us. They beat us last year, right? Well, we've beaten them twice already in their house. All right, so the heat is on, as they say. So I'm really happy for the teams right now. And hell, even the Marlins are winning. Miami Marlins 305, right? They're winning. They beat San Francisco tonight. So yeah, sports is definitely picking up at this time of the year, and obviously, we're going into the summer. It's usually baseball dominated, but basketball and hockey still going strong here in Miami and in Broward. So I want to congratulate them. And yeah, so excuse me. All right, we're gonna change gears when I come back and talk a little remembrance of somebody, a friend of mine and a family member, but of a friend, family friend. All right, we'll be back in a minute. All right, I'm back, still solo. For whatever reason, people weren't getting on tonight, so it's all good. It's all good. The show must go on, as they say, right? You got me, right? As long as you got me, we're still going strong. So recently, as in life, this life is limited, right? We only have a certain amount of days, minutes, hours, years on this earth, and then it's time to go. Well, a friend of mine recently lost his father, and my condolences go out to his family, and you know, like I've said before in episodes, and I did another episode a few months ago regarding losing someone close to you. Uh, Again, there's nothing we can tell you when you lose someone, and we all will go through this. You know, alert, newsflash, we all are gonna end up losing. We're gonna end up losing people that are close to us, family members, friends. All right, and it's gonna depending on the person, maybe you deal with it differently. Okay, when I was young, I lost my grandfather, and I really didn't. It affected me at one point, and then as I got older, I dealt differently. I lost grandparents, lost aunts, and then um, I lost my brother and sister a few years ago. Um, and again, each death you deal with it, and a mother-in-law as well. So how we deal with it, it changes. It changes how you deal with it, and it also changes how you are. You know, I'm a different person from probably going back when I lost my sister. And the only thing I can say about losing someone, and like I've said before, is you got to have a family around you and friends that can be with you and help you and kind of give you that support system. Because it's going to be the swings. The swings are going to be intense, and um, you just hope that when you're dealing with that, you have that around you. And like I said, I just want to give my condolences to Pete, and may his father rest in peace, and all those out there that are dealing with the loss of someone, a continued loss. I pray for you. I hope you find the solace because it's hard to find. There is no reasoning. And in some cases, you lose someone, it's a long sickness. And it's sort of a relief for some people because it's like, you know what, they're no longer suffering. Others, it's sudden. People gone too soon. And you question. And I am not here to question anybody on why things happen. I don't think anyone completely knows the inner workings of how fate is, but your creator has a plan, right? God, Allah, whatever you want to call your creator. If you don't believe in religion, hey, call it fate, call it the cosmos lining up. But we we all have to face this at some point, and there's no easy fix. But I do think that as long as you have people around you that will provide that support, that love, and that caring, that crutch. I always mention the whole footsteps. Um, if I didn't mention the last time, the footsteps um, saying. And if you don't know the footsteps saying, it's pretty cool, pretty interesting. And it's a little religious, so if you're not in religion, hey, you may not get it. But here we go. So here's the footsteps, and I'm paraphrasing here. I don't have it in front of me. So it starts like this. So it says, he quotes himself, I had a dream the other night. And the dream was I was on a beach, and I was walking. And as I was walking, there was two sets of footprints in the sand. And during these times, there was things that were going on in my life. You could, the person was stating that they could remember all the times that they had in their life, and basically the footprints represented life, someone's lifetime, and there were two sets of footprints. But the person stated in the this poem, this saying, there were times in that person's life that there were at some point there was only one set. There was only a set of footprints. And during these times, there were difficult times for that person. Death, struggles, stress, right? Things that you would consider being a stressful situation, very depressing, tough times in our lives. We've all gone through that. And he looks back and he sees one set of footprints. Now, during this time, this person questions God. He's having a conversation with God. And he asks God. And he says, you were there with me during these times, if that's what you say, but there were times that there were only one set of footprints. Where were you during those times? Because there was two sets. The two sets was God and that person. And, he questioned God. He says, where were you during those tough times, God? Where were you? And God replied, I was always with you. During those tough times, I carried you. Those footprints that was me carrying you, because I know you could not walk during those times. It was too tough for you, and I carried you. So I love that saying. I love that story. If you ever get to see it, just do a Google search footprint story, the footprints. And and you know what? It's an amazing, because God is there for you, or your creator, but also family and friends. They will carry you when those footprints, when you can't walk. You you just, for whatever reason, you cannot walk. There will be somebody there to help you and carry you through those tough times. And I think it's an amazing saying, an amazing story. And those of you that are going through tough times, have faith. Someone will walk and carry you. and I wish you guys all the best. So, all right. So that's the end of our little mini episode, the serious part. We got a little lighthearted, but with me just doing it alone, I can only do so much. And I probably bored people to death with some of the stuff I did with sports. The second half was more serious, but I felt like I needed to get that out. And again, I want to thank you guys that happened to put this episode on. I hope you got a little bit out of this. I hope you, sports fans, you kind of are happy, and those of you that are kind of maybe dealing with your own mortality, the second half, it's kind of a either not refreshing, but an interesting way of looking at things. Memento mori. I'll leave with this: memento mori, meaning be aware of your own mortality. We're all gonna go one day, so you need to live your life the best way you can. Do the right thing, and cherish those around you. Do what you think is right. Be responsible. Love your family and friends, and just know that someday it's gonna be over, and it's okay. It's not something to look at and dread. Um, but we're mortal. I mean, we don't live forever, right? Unless you believe some of that stuff. But Dre's not here for that. But just live day by day. Do well. Do good for your family, friends, and hey, don't worry about the future. Live in the moment. Live your life. Again, this is the Fam 305 solo guru. Just me tonight, all by myself. Yeah, I know I can't sing. But I want to thank you guys for listening. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. If those of you have Spotify, or if you've listened to us in the past on other forms, try listening to us on Spotify if you have a Spotify account. Um, if we do that, if we get enough listeners, I can start advertising and maybe make a little bit of money. So help me out. If you know anybody that has Spotify, kind of share it with me. Or share with them. Sorry, share with me. Share with those listeners. Say, hey, I got this cool podcast, but make sure you listen to it on Spotify. So again, thanks for listening to Fam 305. You know where you can find us. Definitely find us on Spotify. You can find us on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher. Obviously, I did say Spotify. Uh, look, do a Google search, Fam 305. Also, the fam305.com. You can listen to us on there. There is a RS feed where you can listen to our episodes there. All right. You guys have a good one. Be good. Be positive. Remember, memento mori. See you later. Peace.